This August, the rhythm returns. The Toronto Pan-African Film Festival is back, and louder than ever. It's Rhythm, the heartbeat of Black music and storytelling. Experience the powerful fusion of film and music that honors the creativity and impact of Black musicians worldwide. August 14th to 17th, from the Black Carpet Gala in Little Jamaica to free screenings, panel vibes, and the grand finale brunch with media mogul Phillip Scott. Get your tickets now at tpaf.com. The Toronto Pan-African Film Festival 2025. Feel the rhythm, live the story.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt? Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster? MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Let's stop acting like we don't see how this game is played. If you tired of folks throwing shade with a smile and keeping you boxed in with that slick behind-the-scenes racism, it's time to upgrade your survival skills. See, Phillip Scott dropped more than just knowledge. He handed you a playbook with passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy. This ain't the in-your-face kind. This is that sneaky, office space, let me block your blessings type of racism that'll have you questioning your own reality. It's time to call it what it is and arm yourself with the facts. But baby, don't stop at just peeping the system. Break those mental chains too. That's why you need 7 steps to decolonize the mind. This is about freeing yourself up top, walking in confidence, and letting the world know your mind is not for rent, lease, or layaway. It's time to reclaim your power step by step. So don't just watch, take action. Click over to Amazon.com, type in passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy and 7 steps to decolonize the mind, and secure both books for yourself, your crew, and anybody ready for that mental liberation. La Sherika said it, now go do it. Invest in your freedom. Pick up both books today on Amazon.com. Trust me, your mind will thank you.
I don't spend my money at the club. Everything I want is provided for me.
Biggest misconception about you? Nothing. It's all true. It's all true. It's all true. If you hear something, believe it. You want to get married now? Do you feel like you're that? No. It is my choice. It's by choice.
Who inspires me? Me. Yes. Me. Yeah. They inspire me, those people you mentioned.
I date mostly like married men, because I don't have that type of time for you. Oh, yeah. And you are married, you don't have that type of time for me.
What do you think it is that the wives are not doing?
I love this question.
They're not really being loved properly. You know, when you stay with someone for so long and you feel like, oh, I don't really have to do much. Don't ever be comfortable around a human being. They can switch.
His wife, one day I just like 11 o'clock, I'm like, okay. She's like, my husband can't control himself, and you as a woman, you can't. I said, Mama, you can't even speak English. Like, I can't even understand. Like,
yeah, I can even speak English because of that's why.
Yeah.
I can't even speak English sometimes. I wouldn't say it was a sugar daddy or a blaster. But I had a thing with someone that was giving me a lot of money.
Every day he was sending me money for lunch.
every day is when you go to work?
Exactly.
Shout out to the slay queens who are getting their thing without having to sell a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Trust me, you can get whatever you want, like once you put your mind to it.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed and him inspired.
We've been through too much to trust mainstream media. This feels like us.
From the D to the diaspora, ADNC is how I stay woke. We binge ADNC like it's Netflix, but smarter.
They speak on us, but never for us. ADNC does.
No fluff, no filters, just the truth, daily.
From Wall Street to 125th, we're watching our news.
Download the African Diaspora News Channel app today to stay connected to the culture.
Oh, I got to cut my lights on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on. Now you see me in real time. All right. Thank y'all for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free. It don't cost you anything. Hit the like button. When they see that survey and say, hey, did you like this content? Say, yeah, I like it. It's educational, informative. It's life-changing. Select all that. That also help our stuff go in the algorithm now because they want you to respond to them surveys about content. So don't just pass it up. Fill it out. All right, tonight, so we're going to talk about the white-only town tonight. I know we kind of covered it on the podcast. We're going to go back to it one more time and speak on this issue that's coming up. And also, we're going to talk about some of the tactics that these folks use to try to get you fired from your job. Even when you're being nice to them, they will sometimes use certain tactics to get you fired because you have to understand they are miserable, very, very miserable. And so they highlight in their life, some of them, of course, not all of anybody with anything. Also, make sure you tune in here Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to go have a panel discussion about the diaspora war that's going on right now. I will engage it on that day. Any other day, I'm just kind of over it in a way. But we're going to go back and get into that conversation about the diaspora war because I'm seeing some things that I personally think, okay, this is not regular anymore to me. This is not a regular thing. So we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have Sister Demetria be there, and I know Whitney wants to come in on that from get a Caribbean person's perspective on it. I think Emma's going to come in. She's West African, of course. You know, she lives in Canada, but she's Ghanaian. I think Sister Vicky's going to come in on that conversation too, if I'm not mistaken. I think she will. So, or whatever. I think so. But make sure you're here on Thursday. We're going to have that panel show to see if you like it. Because we want to try different things just to try to, kind of switch it up a little bit, right? Switch it up. All right. Make sure also we appreciate everybody to download the app. Definitely, hey, $9.99 a month is the monthly price. That's like 31 cents a day. That's supporting the platform. It goes directly to us. And we greatly appreciate everybody that is here. Ghana trip, you know about that. Just keep up with your payments. We still got spots open for you to go. $199 down, you can pay your payments. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because I know I had to. One more thing before I get started. If I see little comments later, maybe I see it later. He taking too long. If you ever say on my stream you're taking too long, I'm gonna block you. Okay. If I want to chatter about this piece of paper right here on my desk, I'll chatter about it for 1 hour if I want to. Okay. So I don't work for you. I work for the people. Now, let's get to the what we want to talk about tonight. Let me get this up on the screen here because I definitely don't want to keep you too long because I know y'all got other things that y'all got to do. I know y'all are very, very important people. Let me see here. All right, boom. This is the first thing we want to start off in. Whites only. All right, whites only. Even though we have went through this before in the United States of America, they say inside the far-right community excluding people on the basis of their race. Now, this came out of Sky News. It's out of Australia, okay? Now, they did went to the place it's like a 28-minute video, but we're not going to go through the video. They're saying here, that you want a white nation, build a white town. Eric Orwell says in one video post on social media, it can't be done. We're doing it. So they say, as the Arkansas sun beats down, dozens of men are hammering posts in the red-brown earth. They said building a fence to mark out the boundary because they don't want black folks over there. Okay, so letting y'all know. They say over the last year and a half, they say high up in the hills and woods, because the hills have eyes, of the Ozarks. They say the group has been working hard, leveling the land, laying roads, building cabins. There are wells, a community center, a schoolhouse where the children going to do their lessons. I wonder what they're going to learn. Let's say the settlement sprawls over 160 acres. And it's called Return to the Land. It's found to say it's an intentional community based around shared ancestry. They say we have started a whites-only community. I really don't know no black people want to go there. And say around 40 people live here and hundreds more from around the world have paid to be members. So basically what they're doing, shout out South Africa and what I'm about to say. Let me get back on screen. Shout out South Africa. So basically they saw what they did in South Africa, Orania, which, my opinion about Orania is that it should not exist. They can have Orania all they want in Europe, but I don't get involved with that conversation as much as I used to. But I said before, and I continue to say it again, it is ridiculous for Orania to exist in a land that had apartheid. I'm just saying. I would be more turned up about Orania than another African that's living in South Africa. I'm just saying. I'll be more turned up about the racism in Cape Town than I would be turned up on other people who are another African. Just saying. Because the other Africans that live there, or even if they are illegal, they don't have an Orania. But their excuse, and I say it's an excuse, and they can get mad if they want to, well, they are South Africans, and that's why I kind of backed off on a lot of things I said about South Africa. When that lady told me a couple of them told me actually, not just one, but when they told me, well, they're South African, I'm like, and look, South Africans, I love y'all. Y'all know I do. But that's the one contention I got with y'all. And I'm not saying all of you feel that way. That's the one contention. It's like us in America. We don't claim these white people. We don't say they're part of us. They're not part of us. They had us enslaved. You're not my family. Sorry, you're not. We live in the same country. Yes. We have the same citizenship. Yes. But they're not. I don't look at them as a tribe. I don't look at them as nothing like that. No. We still got beef as it is now. They still are ops. We ain't got our reparations yet. So how can I talk like that? I'm sorry. It's the truth. That's a difference. The difference with black Americans, I will say this. We look at white supremacy different. And that's what I will say, some of the contention is that we look at white supremacy through the proper lens and others don't look at it through the proper lens. They look at white supremacy as a liberator in today's time. Ooh, you let me come to America. Ooh, you help me get a better life, when really it wasn't them, it was us. But like I said, we can go through that another time. But the Orania thing, right, is what they're literally trying to copy. Orania. Well, here's the difference. In this country, it's not South Africa. And maybe they can do that in the sticks somewhere. But let's call it what it is. Even other white people looking at them kind of funny, like, what y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Because those kind of people who's out there with it, they aren't the one. Listen, let me tell you about the culture. I'm going to tell you about the culture. The culture is the real culture. Look, guys, we agree with you in a lot of ways, but you're doing too much. We can't be having black people think we all are that way, because what they're going to do, they're going to boycott us. They're going to say, hey, all of them are racist, so we're going to boycott all their businesses. And we know if black Americans boycott, our businesses would go to hell. Our business would shut down if they all boycott. They will make it a trend to boycott. They'll make it cool to boycott, where every other group want to get in with the black people to boycott. So no, we don't want to go that far. Even though we may agree with you in a lot of ways, but we don't want to go that far because you're doing too much. Because one thing them folks like more than anything else, they like your money. And the smart ones around, they like, look, I feel you, but I'm not messing my bag up. I'm not fumbling my bag. Black people give me a lot of bag. Walmart is not owned by black people. It's owned by white people. And Walmart not trying to fumble their bag. And I noticed Walmart hire a lot of black people. I admit that. I see a lot of black people working in Walmart. A lot of them. I used to work at Walmart at one point in time. Right? But let's continue. So they want down around here. Now let's get back here. So they kind of covered them here and all of that. I mean, it's these gentlemen in the stick. Like, who wants to live in the sticks with them? Seriously. I don't even know if white people want to live in the sticks with them. You gonna take a white person that's used to a Seattle, a white person that's used to let me give some areas that they live in, Boston, Massachusetts. You take a white person from, white person from Chicago, wherever, and tell them to go live in the sticks with these guys. Yeah, okay. Now they say Orwell's the leader, of course. He say blonde hair and blue eyed. He says he is building a fortress for the white race. And he is, of course, they say inviting them in. Okay. Now, the question I have, this is the question I have. I like I said, maybe I just don't know better. And maybe y'all can enlighten me. Because like I said, I don't know everything, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. If I want a fortress for the white race, okay, I'm going to look at a few things if I want a fortress. First of all, I'm going to look at demographics. And I'm going to look at the demographics of the country. And based on demographics, the country has more people who are non-white now than who are white. We're not talking about that finessing where you're calling Hispanics white and Arabs white and all these different people white on paper. No. Let's keep it real. You're having more people here that they're not counting that is non-white. So I can't really build a fortress with millions and millions of people here who are non-white. That's not going to work. So the best thing for me to do, if I wanted to build a white fortress and I'm a white person who is practicing my culture of anti-black racism, I would go to the home of white people. Where's that home, Phil? I would go to Europe. I would choose countries like Serbia, Poland, places like that. That's extremely homogenous white. And then I wouldn't even have to build a fortress. I would just go live there. It's much easier for you to go to Serbia. It's much easier for you to go to Poland, become an EU citizen, live there, and just live your life normal among great European people. You don't have to go through all this mess you're going through. But we always know people like that. They don't really have they always talk about IQs. And I always said that was the dumbest thing they ever said in their life, is because your intelligence is quantified off of a test somebody else made. Intelligence isn't made by a test. Intelligence is made by what you do and what you say. We have a lot of people running around here with degrees, and they don't have a lick of common sense. You're a great test taker, but can you apply that what you took the test on in real life? That's what show me if you really learned something in school. You passing a test, that don't really mean you know anything. So they run around here talking about they have these such high IQs. If you had a high IQ, your IQ would say, well, I'm going to take the least amount of money and get the greatest result. And the greatest result is least amount of money, take me and my family, get on a plane, head to whatever European country I want to be in that has very, very high numbers of Europeans. I'm going to keep going back there. I'm going to build my life up. I'm going to move there with my family, and we just going to have us a great time. And you don't have to worry about no diversity. You don't have to worry about no equity and inclusion. You don't have to worry about black people's culture. You don't have to worry about the Hispanics. You don't have to worry about the Asians. I mean, wouldn't that be the most inexpensive route? That would be the inexpensive route. But these are people who claim to have a high IQ, but yet they got the country trillions of dollars in debt. You understand? People with high IQs don't do that. People with high IQ would have the country trillions of dollars in the surplus, in the green. Now James says let them move over there. No, I mean, yes, I want them to go. If they feel like him, I want them there. But I would say take it a step further. I don't really think you are down for the white race like that. I don't think you are. Because if you were truly down, you would be in Europe. Y'all have said that Europe is having a decline. Y'all have said Europe's birth rates are bad. How are you going to help Europe over here at this point? You cannot help Europe. So if I'm really down for that, wouldn't I say I'm going to go to Europe? That way I can build up the European homeland. That way I can be with my European culture and my European people. I mean, that would be the best way to do it because look, I'm talking about Kamala. The reality speaking, sir. In the words of Kamala Harris, we're not going back. You're not getting that again. You know you're a has-been when you will look back to the old days. Notice everybody that was a has-been, they always talk about, well, you remember back in 1985, I did this and did that. You look at them today and like, okay, what are you doing today? They still reliving the past, and that's their problem. That's when you know they're in decline. They want to live the past. They want to bring back the past. They can't say, this is what I'm doing in 2025, and this is what I'm doing in the future to make my life better. See, the one thing about Black Americans, we live today and in the future. Yes, we want our reparations because that's old, but we look to the future, and the future look bright for us. We're not trying to live back in the 50s because nothing about the 50s was great anyway. So we have no choice but look toward the future. Now, somebody with a high IQ will look toward the future. Somebody on the decline and think they smart, trying to bring back the past. I don't look back to even last year. You hear me? Now, that makes certain years I'm like, ooh, that year was a good one. But I'm like, okay, I learned from that year. Now, how can I replicate that in 2025? What I can do in 2026? We are in July, almost going in August. I'm like, hey, what are we planning for 2026 already? That's my mindset right now. What are we doing? I'm not trying to go to 2016. For what? The past is dead. You learn from it, you move on. Right? But let's continue. Because, you know, these high IQ people that they tell us, they got so much of high IQ, guys and ladies. All right. So they say RTTL is the vanguard of ethno-nationalist movement that has been organizing online, a network that aims to define countries by ethnicity, but which links across borders. There are plenty of Nazi references on the group's public chat on Telegram. Yeah, because when they do something, they say, quote unquote, for their race, it's always shrouded in anti-Black racism. We know that because that's the culture. Now, Peter Cesare has posted the phrase 1488. 14 refers to the 14 words, a white supremacist slogan, and H is an 8-letter instead of the alphabet. So 88 means HH. It means Heil Hitler. It says that is a funny comment or throwback. Okay, that's what they're saying here. Look, they sit in the woods. Like, look, if I'm gonna have me a community, right? I mean, look at this setup for this interview. You in the sticks. You couldn't get a better place to do this interview, bro. You proud of being in the sticks? If I'm going to invite somebody to my town, I'm going to make sure, man, our town look fly before we even do anything. I'm going to have everything cleaned up. I'm going to have them trees cleaned up. The grass going to be cut. Man, it's going to look so fly when people come out and say, wow, man. Like, wow. But now say Orwell in his videos has talked about the coming of the second Hitler. Oh God, saying he won't arrive unless the people do the work. Oh, so that's y'all. So people talk about the return of Jesus. You talking about the return of Hitler, Lord. He said, I asked him about this. He said, there I am. Honestly, I'm addressing the sentiments of my audience. You talking about Hitler is a very controversial historical figure. I think the mainstream view is one-sided. It's informed by World War II propaganda. No, the guy took millions of lives. He said, but also the contrary position that Hitler did nothing wrong, that many people online say that's also a one-sided view. Of course it's one-sided because people who have hatred, that's how they think. I think all historical figures are complex, multidimensional, but when I say you're going to have to wait for that new Hitler to arise, he said, I'm not saying you're going to have to wait for a new person to start a new Holocaust. Okay, so a Holocaust? What is this new Holocaust you talking about? The devil is a lie. I don't know who you're talking about. He said, I'm saying you don't have to wait for a charismatic leader who is going to advocate for your interests because that's how a lot of people see. Oh, God, y'all are delusional. I mean, if you look in that man's eyes, you can tell that man gone. I mean, look, the eyes is the gateway of the soul, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at this man's eyes and just telling you, like, say, he is not there. He is not there. And say, Orwell insists, he said they're doing it entirely legal because it's a private club. And so exempt from equality legislation. Experts that say spoke to doubt that, say, but the group has invested tens of thousands of dollars in legal research and believes that it's created a viable framework for many more communities to come, both in the U.S. and worldwide. They say 3 other settlements are underway right now. All part of Orwell sees a path to power. So the way he's trying to do this is basically say, okay, this private land, but this like a membership, right? You're a membership. So we can deny people based like a gym, like the gym. Okay, so the gym could like, nah, we don't want you here, right? So we're going to just deny your membership or we can end your membership. But here's the issue. Businesses that do that, membership, they don't, I'm going to say all, don't discriminate based on race or, people's national origin, etc. Now, private land, you can say who come on your land or who not come on your land, right? Well, here's the problem. If a black person works for DoorDash, Amazon, whatever, and they have to go bring an order out there, what are y'all going to do to that black person if he or she goes out there? Well, are y'all going to put a bin somewhere and say, hey, just drop all the packages off here? You ain't got to go no further than that. Like, what are you going to do? And just me as a black person, I would deem that place as dangerous. I wouldn't go there. So if Amazon gave me a delivery that said, no, I ain't going to that place. They don't want me there. And you're not going to help me if I get in a problem. So no. And I mean, why would we want to be there? You're literally saying that place is a haven of white supremacy. You literally quoting Hitler and all this other stuff. Why would a black person want to be there? Just trying to figure that out. So that's dangerous. So you, sir, you taking it way past just a white-only community. Just say white supremacist-only community. That's really what you're saying. You want to start white supremacist enclaves. And out of all your money you spent, all you got was 40 people? 40 people? That's a failure. That's a failure. Now, let me play something this one sister said too, because really, I'm covering it, but most black people, this is how they feel about it.
That white only town don't offend me. Okay, y'all gonna have to come a little harder than that. Please do not threaten me with a good time. Okay, because the decent white people ain't gonna want to live there no how. Okay, they're not gonna want to live there with y'all. The whole town gonna have one rag, and y'all not gonna use it. So I don't give. And the way y'all had to learn how to take a bath, do you think I give a damn? Okay, y'all need to be trying to worry about lice control. Keep that, the way that lice is gonna join up like the KKK and run y'all ass up out of there. Y'all ain't seen shit. Okay, y'all tried it already. Y'all don't even like each other for real. Y'all can't prosper unless y'all oppressing somebody. To white women, they're gonna be miserable. I know how y'all get down.
Well, I would say, let me add to that point, stop at the lice. Oh, man, look. I warn everybody, leave black Americans alone. We are the kings and queens of roasting. We do that like it's nothing, okay? And when we really get on to you, if we really zero in on you, and let me tell you something about roasting. What makes it hurt more is when it's an actual true fact. And when somebody tries to roast you back with a true fact and it does nothing to you, and you go even harder on that other person and just really home in on once you find that weakness in that other person or group, once you find that weakness, then you exploit that weakness and just really roast that one thing when you see the weakness in them. Like that's why other groups really can't deal with us when we start roasting. They can't. They cannot. They can't. But she talked about the wash rag. They don't believe in no wash rag, sister. You know that. That's black folks that do that. You know, they look at us funny by using a wash rag. Okay. So here's the issue. Here's the issue on top of that. In 2025, that's what you go spend your money on. That. Once again, to get 160 acres of land, that's a pretty good amount of money. Versus you could have probably went to Europe, got you a big compound, and just lived over there. And it's been chill. And hey, I don't have no problem with you going to live in Europe. I really don't. But in America, let you know, this is our land in America. And you are not going to run around here and encroach on us. And they tried to, let me see here. Hold on, I want to show y'all something else. They wanted to go do a one in Springfield. And the Springfield city council took issue with it. Because, it's like this. That's not good for business. And one thing I told y'all at the end of the day about white people, they're going to be about they bag, okay? So they say, where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, hold on. All right. So it says here, after widespread reports, a whites-only group was considering Springfield as the next stop in segregated community, the city of Springfield has made a statement denouncing the idea known as Return of the Land, a relatively new group based in northern Arkansas. It says publicly stated interest in creating additional segregated communities in the Ozarks. It says the Deep South. It says in the Appalachian areas. Reports, they said the move to Missouri, the Springfield area spread. It said the ADL and others spoke out and urged the city leaders to take a stance against such development. So the Springfield City Council, city manager David Cameron issued a statement making it clear there's no place in Springfield or anywhere for such divisive and discriminatory vision. The statement noted that said no one from the group had contacted the city directly. Okay, so of course NAACP, they had to make they statements you see at the bottom. But it said efforts to create developments based on racial exclusion not only contrary to our laws, it also runs counter to the spirit of who we are and we aspire to be. It says segregationist thinking, it says has no place in our city's present or future. And I can agree with that. Listen, we're not going to have no segregated anything. That is done. You had your time, bruh. You had your time. And I know a lot of you, listen to me. I know a lot of you wish you could live back in the slavery times. I know you like a book. I know you. That's why you want to go to them plantations and have those weddings with your women. And y'all have these big Civil War reenactments because y'all feel that's y'all glory days. Oppressing somebody. Like that sister said, you ain't happy until you're oppressing somebody. And black people ain't around, you're oppressing your woman. And your woman, she can't stand you half of the time. And trust me, I know y'all cry about your woman. She can't stand you. And she's so glad she got education, she got a job, and she don't need you no more. That's why you're trying to stop her for everything she's trying to do. She ain't trying to live out there with y'all. She tired of y'all. Let me tell you something. Your woman don't even look at you. She look at you as lame. I'll be honest with you. Your woman look at you as lame at this point. What kind of man is talking about, we're going to go live in the woods and, we won't have no internet like that? I guess maybe they got Starlink. I don't know. I'm going to go live in the woods and I'm just don't want to stay around people. So, okay. So you leave modern amenities. You leave so you don't have access to the proper hospitals or doctors as you should, as you travel. Maybe harder to get mail. If you want to go to the movies, you definitely have to travel to go to the movies. Or whatever you like to do, and you put yourself, all that not being convenient for you, just because you don't want to be around black people. your women don't want to be inconvenienced, bro. They don't want to live like I'm sorry, most white women don't want to live Amish. They don't. They want to live in the city with everybody else. That's why they getting tired of you. That's why they always pushing up on the brothers. Because the brothers ain't talking no stupidity like that. We gonna go live in the sticks because we don't want to be around anybody. Like, listen, if we go build a town, first of all, we don't build it on no hatred. We don't do that. If we go build a town, we're like, look, man, we were just trying to rebuild what our ancestors had. We want to rebuild that. And then when we do, we're gonna make it fly. Our stuff gonna be modern. Our stuff gonna look good. It's gonna look good. It's not gonna look like we in the freaking sticks and back in the colonial era. No. Everything we do is gonna be fly. Everything. And people like him know that. That's why y'all will try to destroy everything that we ever built. We talking about we need black communities. No, we have black towns. Only thing I say about that, we need to get together and build a town. Why not? What's wrong with us having a town? I've been saying that. There's a lot of land in America for black Americans to build a town. Get some acres of land. Some of us got the acres in our families. Get some acres of land and build a homes. We need school. We need hospital. We need school, hospital, grocery stores, anything that you normally need. And say, hey, we also open for business. Everything we need, like Black Wall Street, everything you needed was right there. Hey, we get us some movie theaters. We get us whatever we need. You want some clubs, lounges, because anything that we gonna have popping, everybody gonna show up anyway. Anything that we do, people gonna show up. And when we say, hey, okay, you can come over here, it's no problem. Just be nice. If you're not, well, we got our police to get you out of here. If you're not gonna be nice, and that's just that simple. Black folks don't have no hatred of nobody. We don't. Believe it or not, we should be the people that have hatred, at least for them. And we still don't feel that way because we're not consumed with hate. That's not who we are. Now, some of us, some people may say, that's not true because look at what some of y'all have said about Africans. That's not hate. That's not hate. A lot of that, be honest with you, is just, I'm telling you just the truth. A lot of that is just misunderstanding. I think extreme cultural differences. Let me give you an example. In America, we strive on customer service. We strive on that. That's a big thing. In the African continent, in a lot of those places, especially West Africa, from what many people have said, and even other countries, the customer service thing is not a tenet of what they do. So over here, we like, hey, the customer's always right. Oh man, if I messed up, okay, let me fix it. This. Not to say they can't learn it, but you got somebody that still kind of come from their culture. Customer service. So when I saw some of the braiding shop videos recently, I really was watching it. And a lot of it was customer service issues. And because customer service issues, language barriers issues too, but customer service issues, and then people get back and forth and the temperature turn up because, hey, you talking about money, and they are mad because, hey, I feel like I did this work, well, you didn't do it the way I told you to do it, and then it becomes a customer service issue. At least in some, not all, but some of these braiding shops from what I've seen on the videos, right? So that's part of that too. But there's no hatred. Now, somebody say they have a hatred for somebody in the diaspora, then okay, you need to watch yourself at that point. But we don't build anything in the guise of hate. We just don't do that, okay? So these people, like I said, I look at them as lame. They lame. They so lame. But do y'all, man, do y'all. Now let me get to my next thing here real quick, because I don't want to miss out on the second thing we want to talk about tonight. Let me not miss that. All right, hold on. Where's my text here? I'll say boom, boom. All right. Let's look at something real quick. Dirty tactics they use to try to get us fired. Now, how many times have y'all have dealt with these folks on the job? Now, we got this one brother, and I want you to hear our brother here, what he has to say, what happened to him in his job. But let's see if you can relate to this. Let's cue our brother up real quick.
Let me tell y'all how addictive white people are, and they're so intentional with how that they are. This white lady comes in my store. She asks me, she says, "Sir, where are the pine nuts?" I'm like, "I don't believe we sell them in our store, but I know we might sell them in another store." Rolls her eyes at me, and then she's like, "Well, from the last time I remember, y'all sold them here." I said, "Well, from what I know, because I work here every single day, we don't have them, but if you would like to, I would check where you found them the last time." She's like, "Thank you." She then calls the store. Mind you, I work at the desk, so I answer the phone. She says, "Hi, I was just treated so rudely by one of your workers. He even cursed at me and just had the nastiest attitude. He literally went off on me." Mind you, she's talking about me to me. I'm like, OMG, what happened? Playing dumb, because I realized what she was doing. I knew her voice. Like, yeah, he even cursed at me and was like, "Yeah, lady, if you're looking for the pine nuts, they would be where you found them last time." And I'm just like, let my manager have answered this phone, they would have believed that. Because you're a white woman crying wolf. Why would I cuss at you? Like, I have a lot more decorum than that. It's just in general, you did that on purpose. That was not how the interaction went at all. Like, oh, my hatred sometimes, it really builds up.
All right, so you heard that brother, what he had to say. He said that basically he was helping a white lady, in the store, and she, thought that she bought some pine nuts there, but the brother said, "Nah, it probably wasn't this store, it's another one," right? Simple. She gets frustrated, as he says. Then she ended up calling the store and telling part of the story, but then lying. And imagine, like he said, his supervisor came up to him and said, "Hey, this lady said you cussed her out, you said this, you said that." And it depends on if your supervisor's white, of course, or white adjacent sometime. I'm going to say white adjacent sometime. They'll take her word for it. And now you getting written up or getting fired behind what she said. Instead of her saying something right then and there, no. She went home and called on him, right? And that's a little dirty tactics they use to try to get the black people fired. Because a lot of times they're miserable. And I noticed, though, you couldn't have told me she was young, though. Usually when they get older like that, especially the women, when they get older, when it gets to the point that they men kind of cast them aside, and it's usually within the after the childbearing years, for the most part, with their men, those women become invisible to those men. And I noticed, hey, have you ever noticed the ones who are really anti-black racist? It's the older women outside of childbearing age. Have you noticed that in their community? I'm not saying some young ones can't be that way. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about the ones that's really that way. Think about it. You talking about the quote unquote Karen. Think about the age range they're in. Think about it. Yeah, that was God that saved him, of course. But if he would have got fired, that means God got something better for him. I'll tell people about this, about my life. Every time I've gotten fired, even by some things, I say, man, that's some BS. How I get fired for that? Every single time, I have gotten a better situation. And I tell y'all sometimes God got something better for you, and maybe you wouldn't have left that situation until you got fired. So now you got fired, and now you can go look for that other job that probably you should have had a year ago. Then when you get that job, you're like, man, why didn't I do this 6 months ago? Or maybe you be pushed to get more involved in your side hustle too. So you know what, man, my side hustle making me some money. Let me go throw all my weight into my side hustle. Now your side hustle may become your main hustle. And maybe you wouldn't have got fired from that job. You would have never did it. Right? But I have noticed the older ones, and I'm not saying all of them that way. I'm not saying that, because you know how people, you're saying all. No, I'm not saying all. You need to listen. But with that situation, what I've seen, it's just been the older ones. It's been the older ones more than anything else, what I've seen. And it's ridiculous. Jobs are hard to come by. And let me tell y'all something. Whatever you do to somebody, you get it back, or sometimes your kids get it back, or somebody get it back. Now, in their community, they're having a hard time finding a job. Now they're getting fired from their jobs now. They're getting fired. And because they're getting fired from their jobs, they're suffering in their bills. Wait till the big, beautiful bill come online in 2026. Oh, it's about to be some problems for them. That big, beautiful bill, I'm telling you, you gonna see some crying. They did it in a way that a lot of tenants of the big, beautiful bill comes on next year, and it's gonna affect them a lot. Look, I'll tell you about black people. We're used to getting fired. That's part of our life, is getting fired. Like, well, listen, we're like, oh, what happened? Oh, man, I got fired today. Oh, for real? Man. I say, when you supposed to get your last check? Yeah, I get it Friday. They say I got to turn in my uniform. So, okay, what you gonna do? Man, I'm gonna have to go chill, whatever, for a little bit. And I look for something. Shoot, I feel like getting some extra money. I'll go do some Amazon. I already been signed up for that anyway. So I got Amazon Flex. If I want to do something, or man, I'll go sit up there and do some Uber Eats or something. I'll do something, man. They say, but I ain't tripping. You know, it is what it is. I'll do Amazon until I find something else. I'm cool, bro. I'm like, that's how we look at it. We don't even be tripping. We just like, we already moving into the next thing, got our money together, do it. We just know how to move. Them, oh my God, I got fired. I lost my career. I lost it. Like, and yeah, Shy from Philly is right. Some jobs that you have, you didn't get was not right for you. Yeah, there's plenty of jobs I wanted. Listen, I remember at one point in time, y'all, I wanted to work at ExxonMobil. Oh, I wanted to be operator at ExxonMobil so bad. I applied so many times to try to get a job at ExxonMobil. Because ExxonMobil, those operators over there was making $125,000, at least at the time that I was trying to get in there. And, I see them guys chilling. You'll see everybody, some brothers, but Exxon, whatever. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm so glad I didn't get the Exxon job. I'm so glad. Because I would still be at ExxonMobil right now. I wouldn't be here talking to you. And I would tell you, the life that in my path that I'm on, and the path I'm still on, right? I love this path more so than going to sit at ExxonMobil for 12 hours as an operator. You know what I'm saying? Being told what to do and how to do things, asking for vacation. Like I said before, right before I left my petrochemical job, and when I think it was that year we was gonna go to Kenya, that 1 year. I think it was it in 2022? Yeah, it was 2022 when I went to Kenya last time. Yeah, I think it was 2022. And I went and told them, I said, hey, I'm going with my family to Kenya or whatever. Say, well, we got to approve it, see if you get approved for it. And I'm like, and we say approved, and I did something click in my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. How come another grown man, especially a white man, gonna tell me if he gonna approve for me to go on with my family to Kenya? I'll say, look, and that's why I snapped, and I'm like, no, I'm going. I'm just letting you know. Well, we'll see. I was gonna go anyway. And I'm like, if they would told me, well, you fired, I'm like, okay, well, it's not like I was dependent on this job anyway, because I really wasn't. And they ain't like that either about me either. So for a couple of years, that was extra money for me. I was just still working there. I remember that time I went in there, y'all, because for years I was working petrochemical and I was doing this. And when this overshadowed the petrochemical, I was still working there though, all the way up to the end of 2022. And I remember a couple of years before that, I went in there and I told them, I said, hey, these guys that need some overtime. I said, don't call me. I said, you ain't got to call me. I said, call them. Those guys need the overtime. I don't. I said, because me coming in here has kind of hurt me a little bit. And they looked at me and like, okay. And they never called me for overtime, which I loved it. Don't call me. Don't call me. Because then it really got to a point where I was working the job. those 12-hour shifts, and I was realizing how much I was not even getting done, how much I was losing. I said, "Oh man, I got to get out of this. I got to get out of this place." Oh no. Yeah, and I always tell people, if you're gonna start a business while you got a job. But when you get to the point that your business is making way more than your job, then you can walk away. Don't just like, oh, I'm gonna leave and your business not making regular money. Don't do that. Stay on your job. Yeah. But it's some new people, Navi. It's a few people that's new. They never heard that story before. But that's what it is. That's what it is to these people. So yeah, I left and never looked back. And I'll tell you what, when you get away from working for these people, you literally feel like you off the plantation. These people have an oppressive spirit. They have an oppressive spirit. They don't know no other way to be. The way they run business is oppressive. Really to everybody, but for sure, you don't have to lord and master and oppress people. You don't. I don't do that to the people that's here with us. I don't oppress them. Now, we got deadlines we need to hit, of course, but there's no oppression. You don't oppress nobody. People like when you treat them with respect. People like when you treat them like a human being. And really, no Karen could call me and tell me nothing about nobody. That's also another beautiful thing, right? Well, Marcus, hey man, I'm glad. The seed was already in you. Maybe I could have came by and just watered that seed, Marcus. Because like I said, we got to create some businesses in our community. Because I'm gonna tell you from experience, it is better to create your own paycheck than trying to get one from these people. They will never respect you. They will never respect your education. They will never respect your hard work, your effort. They will never respect that. Never. And if you're doing all the hard work and effort for them, what I've learned about them over the years, they don't care about it. You can sacrifice your kids' birthdays. You can sacrifice your anniversaries for them. You can sacrifice graduations. You can sacrifice, look, I'm going to go to wake, but I'm not going to go to the funeral of grandma or whoever else. And they will still fire you tomorrow. Oh, can you help us, Marcus? Could you come in? I know. Can you at least go to the wake and maybe just miss the funeral? All right, you thinking, oh, well, I'm going to do this. It'd probably be a good look. I'm going to get this position. And you still won't even get it. You would never get it. So don't do it. One thing I love about this current generation, quiet quitting, that was the best thing they ever did to these people is quiet quit. These people don't deserve you. That I can tell you. They don't care about you. They don't care about nobody, really. They don't care nobody. Especially in big corporations, they don't care about nobody. You're nothing but an employee number, and them numbers come and go every day, okay? With that being said, thank y'all for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. Also, make sure to go over to AfroWire AI. Check out what LaSherica got going on tonight. LaSherica going to be talking about them folks, too, because, we got to get back to business. Because I told y'all the focus is supposed to be on what they're doing. I'm not getting all that back and forth within our own community, whether it's FBA, Black America, the diaspora. We're going to focus on what they're doing because they are the author of the confusion for everybody.